On various stories making headlines across the country and of course across the globe itself. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. My co-anchor this afternoon is Lucy Moura. Thank you for making time for us. You can also talk to us on our KBC Channel 1 at Abdiaziz Hashim 1 on all social media platforms to desist from harassing teachers. In a deal brokered between TSC and leaders within the county, CEO Nancy Macharia said it is unfair to target teachers and blame them for poor performances, urging the community to work with teachers to ensure schools perform as they desire.
According to Joseph Mukele, the director of TSC in Western Region, the deployment of 10 male and 7 female teachers was necessary following the expulsion of their predecessors.
And we will continue visiting the school so that we provide support, because as new teachers in that institutions, they may require to be guided, to be orientated, so that they are able to get their footing, because we need normalcy to return in that institution.
The school actually is back to its normal operation. We have received our teachers and the school board of management has been in charge of the schools since the time the principal left. Though difficult as it has been, we have been able to put the school back to its normal operation.
The Deputy County Commissioner for Mumias East, Paul Lagat, who also chairs the committee tasked with evaluating the school's program, outlined several strategies to ensure smooth functioning of the institution.
The school needs to have a strong fence in the school, because currently the school is not fenced. Then we have also recommended that there should be minimum activities by the politicians in our schools, so that learning cannot actually be interfered with. We have also agreed that the board of management will be able to meet with the new teachers who have been posted to the school, so that they can be actually welcome to the school and actually orientated. We will work together with the member of parliament to sensitize the parents through parents meeting, so that they should be able to actually play their role of actually paying the school fees.
Langata emphasized the commitment of the safety of the newly deployed teachers, revealing that 4 individuals involved in the assault on the head teacher have already been apprehended. For Lunchtime News, I'm Gladys Mungai.
And in other news, the ruling by the Court of Appeal revoking the nomination of 9 UDA Party County Assembly members in Uasin Gishu County has created a legal quagmire for the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IBC). The ruling by Justice Ruben Nyakundi directing the Commission to degazette their names within 14 days and gazette the approved list within the same period puts the Commission at a crossroad, as it is yet to be fully constituted to implement the said ruling.
Whenever the law requires IBC to conduct certain activities, it anticipates that it is the Commission that is to do that. The CEO of IBC heads the Secretariat. The Secretariat will only act on instructions of the Commission. In the absence of the Commission, then the Secretariat will only conduct what we call normal operations, administrative duties, but it cannot undertake constitutional duties that are only reserved for the Commission. And therefore, the question is then, how will the orders be implemented, noting that the IBC, noting the absence of the commissioners? That's the biggest challenge that will come along the way of the implementation of the orders. But the fact that the IBC commissioners are not in office does not mean that the court cannot issue such orders. The fact is that the IBC Secretariat has no capacity, mandate, and or jurisdiction to effect the court orders, because the orders were issued to the commissioners, the 7 commissioners, and not the Secretariat.
Elsewhere, learning has been paralyzed at Soit Post Primary School in Samburu North Sub-County following its temporary closure due to a banditry attack. The attack left 1 injured, has seen locals fleeing the area for safety.
The discomfort and disquiet environment welcomes us at Sword Pass Primary School in Samburu North Sub-County. Classes remained deserted as teachers and learners fled the school to safety for fear of attack. Tuesday night banditry attack at the school left one person injured and recuperating at Marara Referral Hospital. The recent attack has raised tension in the area, with residents fleeing the area with their belongings for fear of more attacks.
We apologize for that particular technical glitch. Once the story is redone, we will air it for you. Now, 7 people are fighting for their lives at Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital in Kisii County following a tragic road accident that happened on Wednesday afternoon. The accident involved a crane and a trailer and a public service vehicle. It is believed that the crane, which was bound for Transmara, Narok County, developed some brake failure. Now, separately, 2 miners died after falling into a mine shaft in Ivole village in Ivonda location in Iholomani, Kakamega County.
This crane found itself perhaps at the wrong place at the wrong time. It all began on Wednesday afternoon when the Transmara-bound crane developed some brake failure.
Kufika hapa gari yenye Zoomland crane haina brakes. Ujaribu kushika brakes haina brakes. Mwenzangu akaniambia niweke low gear, ilikuwa kwa gear 5 gear 6. Nikaweka low haingii. Kustuka mwenye mbele yangu pandeni bodaboda, pandeni matatu imesimama. So mimi kuhepa nikapatana na bumps.
Eyewitnesses narrating the ordeal, which wreaked havoc on nearby shops and eateries.
Sasa nikasikia kitu kinaguruma kutoka juu. Nasikia sauti ya juu. Sasa nikafikiri wacha nitoke nje nione. Karo wengine kanikatasha. Nikasimama. Nikasubiri tu, nimeshindwa hata kuinua mguu. Sasa kusubiri nifikirie ni nini, nikaona hii gari.
Bystanders and pedestrians saying they cheated death narrowly.
Kidogo tukaona chopa imesonga kutoka kwa barabara kidogo ndio hiyo gari ikapita, hiyo gari kubwa ndio ikaribu hizi vipanda. Na walisema ni brake ile katika.
The 7 victims are being treated at Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital, Kisii County, while the driver of the crane escaped unhurt. In Kakamega County, 2 local gold miners died due to suffocation in a mining shaft that had been closed since December last year.
Amefunikwa akiwa kwa shimo la gold. Kwa hivyo mimi naomba msaada kwa sababu hata kwa boma hakuna kitu chochote.
Ila ametoka ameenda kazini, nimepata ripoti mwendo wa saa 4 mtoto wako amefunikwa na mchanga mahali wanachimba gold.
Rescue efforts bore no fruits as they were coupled with challenges, including insufficient air supply in the shaft.
Ndio tukapata ripoti tuna vichana 2 wako ndani ya shimo kwa ajili ya kuteresa na kuanguka, na tumefika au karibu kutolewa, lakini ilikuwa utefutefu kuhusu wasimamishi wenye walikuwa na hiyo kasi.
The residents are now calling upon the government to intervene and ensure the safety of miners, with leaders emphasizing the need for adherence to mining safety regulations. Parsa Frederick, Lunchtime News.
And on the political front, I want to take you live to Kwale County, where we do understand the ODM leader Raila Amolo Odinga is currently holding talks with his delegates. Of course, you do understand this is the ODM recruitment drive that has been ongoing across the country. I do understand we do have our reporter Junay Karisa with us this afternoon. Junay, good afternoon and good to see you. What more can you tell us about the ODM's tour in Kwale County?
Good afternoon. We are live from the Diani Reef Hotel. This is day 4 of the Coast Regions tour for the opposition leader Raila Odinga as he mops up numbers for registration for the ODM party ahead of the grassroots elections slated for April this year. This is the 4th day. Yesterday we were in Kilifi County. The other day we were in they were in Tana River County. Previous day they were in Lamu County. Just trying to get more numbers towards the registration of membership for the ODM party. Several issues have come up. The issue of the cordial relationship that has just been brokered between the executive, of course, and the judiciary, as well as the different arms of government. Them is a criticism that they are interfering with the independence of the different arms of government. So that is one of the contentious issues they were talking about yesterday. More laments are about the cost of living, as well as other issues that are affecting the Mwananchi, just trying to tell the opposition chief to do something about it, to either raise his voice or any other way that is democratically possible to try and tell the government of the burden that the Mwananchi is facing. So from here, we are headed to a rally. This region has registered low numbers according to the statistics that were provided by the Secretary General, Edwin Sifuna, is that this county is number 16 across the county, and because in terms of registration. So they're just trying to appeal to this county to embrace the ODM party, as well as boost their numbers ahead of those grassroots elections. So many issues are coming up. This is the delegates meeting ongoing. There was one in the morning in Matuga. Same issues were raised. Now we are talking to delegates at the Diani Reef. Same more issues are coming up, and matters them wanting the ODM party chief to go to the grassroots and speak to the people at the mashinani level. So we are keeping abreast of what is happening. After here, we are headed to a rally within Diani, within Ukunda, and of course at the top of the hour we will be bringing you more conclusive deliberations between the delegates and their party leader Raila Odinga. And as I hand it back to you in studio, we are waiting to see. Of course, the SG has talked about the issues of the Mount Kenya politics, as well as other issues that are pertaining the party, including the interference of the top leadership of the ODM party in terms.
Now that is our reporter Junei Karisa just briefing us on that ODM leader Raila Odinga led meeting that is currently happening in Kwale County. I've just heard from Karisa. They will also be having a rally, and at the top of the hour we'll be able to inform you on what the Azimio chief has been able to say. Let's come back here to the capital and to take you live to another event that currently concluded at the Safari Park Hotel, where the MCSK event that was ongoing this particular morning. I do understand that we do have our reporter Irene Muchuma with us this afternoon. Irene, good afternoon. What more can you tell us about what the CEO has been able to say in that particular meeting?
Abdi, good afternoon. We are coming to you live from a Nairobi hotel this afternoon, where the music artists have converged at this place, probably to deliberate on ways they will be able to improve the music industry in the country. It is an event that has been graced by the CEO of the Kenya Film Classification Board, and hundreds of music artists are here, and this is an event that will only give them a platform to exchange ideas, but also to take home some good amount of money. The Music Copyright Society of Kenya has set aside 20 million shillings, which will be distributed to music artists from this event this afternoon. And this has been divided into various categories, including one for the legends and also the upcoming artists, the artists with disabilities, top honor gospel category, and also top honor nationally. So the society has a total of 16,000 participants, but what the MCSK has done has been able to identify talents from several regions who are representing their counterparts from this forum, and it is also a forum that they will be able to address the challenges facing especially the gospel artists in Kenya. But without further ado, at least we got word one of the top earners is one of the gospel artists known for the famous song Mali Safi Chito. And I'm just bringing her on board to tell us more about the music industry and these allocations that you are going to get today. What impact will it have, especially for the artists that will be able to earn it? Let's start with the names.
Okay, my stage name is Marakwet Daughter. My official name is Millicent Jerotich, starting with the letter J, not CH. I'm from Marakwet, and about the earning today, I thank God. I have never been recognized in any society in Kenya. So this is favor, this is God, and I appreciate our CEO, Ezekiel Mutua. Thank you so much. May God bless you. May God keep you. May God continue blessing you every day.
I heard you saying you came up with several songs, but the Mali Safi Chito is one of the favorites that you say it's taken you to some level. So what are these challenges that we've been able to find for you to get to where you are?
I could say God's time is the best. I've been trying. I have so many songs. I recorded my first song 2009. That was secular music. Then 2018, I decided to change and decided to preach the gospel through gospel music. But amongst all the songs I have recorded, whether the secular music nor the gospel music, Mali Safi came with a favor. Mali Safi came and confirmed that God is real and He can do it anytime when the right time comes.
Maybe I'll take you to what I asked you earlier. We are going to get money here, and the highest will get about to 800,000 shillings, considering that you've been performing to some extent. So supposingly you get this money, what will you do with it?
Supposingly I get
the 800,000.
Wow. Hey, I will thank God. One, I will go back to my church and say thank you, Lord. Two, when I talk of going back to my church, I think, one, I will pray. I will make a Thanksgiving prayer. And then, of course, my tithe. And then I've been praying God to give me a car. So direct, I will purchase my new car. Premium.
Thank you, Millicent. Maybe you just give us a lyric of your song as I usher in another artist.
Mali Safi Chito, hey we, Mali Safi Chito we, sweet mwah, Mali Safi Chito.
Thank you so much, Irene. That is a song that has been trending not just on TikTok but various other media platforms out there on social media. And of course we wish her and all the artists there all the best. Let's come back into the studio and inform you on other stories making headlines at this hour. Is that Mombasa County Health Department has issued a public health alert to residents following the outbreak of conjunctivitis, commonly known as a red eye disease in the county. Now speaking at the County Health Department headquarters, the County Director of Public Health, Dr. Salma Swale, called on the residents to take preventive measures to curb the spread of the disease.
According to Mombasa County Health Department, in the last 2 weeks, over 150 cases of conjunctivitis, also known as red eye disease, have been reported at various public health and private facilities in the county.
We have seen 80 patients. As I said, these, as Dr. has implied, these are the patients who actually present. So 80 patients from Coast General, this is just for the past 2 weeks. Portrees sub-county, we have seen 36. Likoni, 33. We also have data from a private facility. I can share. They have shared their data. They have seen over 200 patients. So these are patients who actually present to the facility, the health facility.
In a briefing, the County Director of Public Health, Dr. Salma Swale, called on the locals affected by the disease to avoid frequenting crowded places as the disease is highly contagious.
Acceptable home remedies. These include, I would advise, cold compresses or warm compresses. What I mean is you just use cold water or towel soaked in cold water to soothe your eyes. You don't put it directly, you just put it on top of the eyes. Putting anything foreign in your eyes is very dangerous because we are all different, our immunities are different, so what might work for one person will not work for the other person.
At the same time, Dr. Salma urged parents whose children have symptoms such as eye pain, swelling, redness, itchiness and eye discharge to ensure they stay away from school.
Tumeanza kupeleka salamu kwa mashule yote, madrasa, kwa mtoto ambaye ameathirika apewe ruhusa kurudi nyumbani. So akina mama, mtoto akija nyumbani tusiache atoke nje tena acheze. Kusaidia ni mtoto apumzike. Kila akipumzisha hilo jicho na ndio kupona kwake linakuwa haraka. Akienda nje akichanganyika na watoto wengine tena tunasambaza ugonjwa unaendelea kusambaa.
Locals were also being urged to exercise hygiene such as hand washing and the use of sanitizers in the absence of water to stop the spread.
The virus is actively on surfaces. When someone touches a surface, an unporous surface, that means glass, wood, doors, windows, the virus remains active for almost a month. So we and in porous surface like bed sheets, linens, pillows, towels, so that can be active as for even 2 weeks. So hygiene, that is the message we want to tell the public. It's hygiene, hand hygiene. Avoid sharing cosmetics, avoid sharing towels, avoid using people's drugs.
On the security front, the Eastern Africa Standby Force Chairperson General Francis Ogola has challenged member states to be innovative in developing security threats facing the region. Ogola, who was speaking during the 32nd ordinary session of the Eastern Africa Committee of Chiefs of Defense and Security in Nairobi, said the region is facing a myriad of challenges ranging from terrorism, cybercrime, growing humanitarian assistance and disasters that require speedy intervention. The East African Standby Force draws its membership from 10 member states within the region.
The challenges facing our region have evolved, requiring us to adapt and innovate in our strategies and defense and security. Today, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex geopolitical dynamics, transnational threats, and emerging challenges that demand a unified and collaborative response. Our agenda.
I also wish to appreciate all member states for continued support to the organization, and I appreciate especially the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia for honoring their pledge during the last policy organs meeting of supporting this organization with $30,000.
Elsewhere, young people have been urged to exercise caution when venturing in new relationships amid the recent increase in cases of femicide. Speaking at the Isiolo Methodist Church after a Peace and Cohesion Forum convened by the National Council of Churches of Kenya, Reverend Jocelyn Kagendo, NCCK Women Representative for the Upper Eastern Region, emphasized the need for young girls, especially those in universities and tertiary institutions, to exercise caution in relationships. Kagendo advised prioritizing education over lavish lifestyle, urging contentment of parental support. Now, additionally, she addressed issues touching on domestic violence and advocated for peaceful conflict resolution to prevent harm within marriages.
Kwa hivyo njinjue wewe msichana, njue uko na future yako, hatima yako ambayo ni kubwa sana, na wewe ni wa maana katika jamii na hata kwa familia yako, na jamii nakutegemea, watoto watakutegemea, na pia taifa kwa jumla linakutegemea. Hata pia mambo ya vijana, hata wao wasinjihusishe na mambo ya mapenzi, kwenda kukutana na kina mama ambao wako na pesa na unjui yeye ni nani, alafu mnaenda mafichoni, na ukitoka huko tunasikia watu wako kwa magunia, wamekatakatwa shingo, wamekatakatwa mbali pale kwingine. Kwa hivyo hiyo yote tunaweza suia.
Police in Thika, Kiambu County are in pursuit of a gang that invaded Karibaribi Secondary School and killed a security guard during the raid. The gang believed to have injured other 6 guards and made away with 16 laptops. The perpetrators are said to have later attempted to steal from a shop belonging to a police officer, only for the 2 of them to be shot dead. Now 2 others escaped with gunshot wounds.
The daring machete-wielding gang of 6 rained terror on the guards on duty at Karibaribi Day Secondary School. One of the guards was killed while 2 of his colleagues were injured. The perpetrators would later proceed to the school administration block, where they ransacked the various offices and made away with 16 laptops. Area residents are, however, puzzled at how the raid continued despite the school neighboring a police post. We catch up with Sarah Musa, the widow of the murdered guard. She tells us that her husband was forced to work in 2 schools to feed his 5 children. She is calling on authorities to bring her husband's murderers to book. However, in a twist of events, 2 suspected thugs were shot dead by a police officer as they attempted to break into his house at Ngoingwa Estate.
Wakati aliweza kuwashariji, wakaweza kufanya kama nitamfamia. Aliweza kutumia bunduki yake na kaweza kuwaua 2. Wengine wao walitoroka. Kwa hiyo wakati ndio aliweza kugundua kumbe walikuwa wamekata ukuta na kaingia kwa duka na kutoa mali ya duka. Yenye ingine haikuweza kupatikana.
Thika West Sub-County Police Commander Lawrence Mushangi confirmed the incident, saying that the 2 were in a group of the gang that had earlier robbed the nearby Karibaribi Day Secondary School.
Tunaamini katika hiyo incident kunaweza kuwa kuna wengine kati ya wale walitoroka walipata majeraha ya risasi, na tunaomba wananchi pamoja na hospitali zenye ziko karibu, kama kunaye mtu atatokea akuwe na jeraha yenye inakuwa suspected kuwa ya risasi, atuite na ndio tuweze kupata kuchukua hatua.
Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
And that story by Nancy Okware is just 28 minutes past the hour. Takes us to our first commercial break here on KBC Lunchtime News. Don't go too far. We still have more for you on the other side of the break.
Are you a talented artist, or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with our music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Let's head over to the Mount Kenya region where President William Ruto on a Thursday launched the construction of the Timau Affordable Housing Program in Buri, Meru County. Now the 320-unit project will create more than 4,000 jobs and is expected to inject 230 million shillings into the local economy. Later, the head of state launched the construction of a 43-kilometer Kwamumero Kithithina Primary, Miamoja, Timau, Rugirando, Ngusishi, Makutano, Lewa, Mbuju, Ngare, Dare roads.
Niliwaambia hapa kwenu tutawapangia mambo ya barabara. Tunaelewana? Nimefika ofisini kule nikakuta madeni imetoka hapa mpaka New York. Nikasema wacha kwanza nipambane kulipa hii madeni. Unajua ile jamaa wa rege walifanya rege wakasahau kulipa madeni. Madeni ikapambana. Sijui kama mnanielewa. Lakini sasa nimemaliza hiyo kazi, ndio nimekuja hapa kuendesha sasa kazi ya maendeleo na kupanga hii, kwa sababu kama singelipa hii madeni, hii Kenya yetu ingepigwa mnada. Mnataka Kenya yetu iwekwe kwa auction? Hata mmesikia imepigiwa kengele. Si lazima tumalizane na wale. So nimepangana na watu wa World Bank, watu wa IMF, watu wa development partners, marafiki wengi, na sasa mambo yetu iko sawa sawa. Na ndio sababu hiyo hapa Timau, hii town yenu ndio ikae kama city, ni tuwajengee hizi barabara. Hapa Timau town tutajengea karibu kilomita 5 ya Timau town. Tupange hapa tuweke lami, ndio tutoe vumbi, mtu akikuja Timau anakuja kama amekuja city.
The spouse of Deputy President Pastor Dorcas Rigathi has expressed concerns over increased cases of depression among school-going children. Pastor Rigathi, who was in Kisii, High School, noted a majority of students suffering from depression have a history of drug and substance abuse. Additionally, she pledged to continue with her campaign to promote the rights and safety of the boy child, whom statistics show often fall into depression and in some cases commit suicide due to drug abuse or social pressures.
It is very sad to see that in our schools and our universities, even primary schools, we are witnessing cases of depression, frustration, and it is more prevalence with the people who are taking drugs. They get into the place of suicide, and as you heard the other time, we were in a university where we were told that 55 had committed suicide. And it is very sad if, as a mother or a parent, you take your child to school or to the university and they come in a casket. You must now turn and bring the boy up so that you can have a balanced society.
Now, Kenyans have been urged to exercise due diligence before entering into any land purchasing deal. Now, speaking while handing over the title deeds to investors, Chairman of Shirika Housing Cooperative Society, Stanley Mirungu, warned against investing in organizations or companies selling land without exercising caution due to infiltration of fraudsters into the sector.
Ukinunua shamba, tafadhali fanya uchunguzi wako mwenyewe, sio ile umeambiwa, na usinunue kabla hiyo uchunguzi yako hujapewa stakabadhi na ofisi ya mashamba kule hiyo shamba iko. Kama ni Machakos, kama ni Athi River, kama ni Mavoko, kama ni Kajiado, kama ni Kitengera, uende upewe title deed na mwenyewe. Kwa sababu hata kama mnanunuanga mashamba kutoka kwa mwenyewe, lazima mwenyewe akuonyeshe title yake.
The government is investigating claims of fraudulent registration of women as widows to enjoy government support at the expense of genuine widows who are left out. Now, speaking at Musinaka in Luanda sub-county during a widows conference organized by the Pentecostal Assemblies of God Church PAG Kenya, Vihiga County Commissioner, that is Felix Watakila, warned chiefs and their assistants of stern action if found colluding with the women to who are not widowed to access the said funds.
Rebecca Maganga was among widows lamenting on how they've been turned away by their in-laws from their matrimonial homes and their properties grabbed.
Nilitengwa na jamii, nilipigwa vita vikali, nilinyang'anywa mali ya mume wangu, ikafika mahali nifunge virago nirudi kwetu.
Speaking at Musinaka in Luanda sub-county during a widows conference organized by Pentecostal Assemblies of God Church PAG Kenya, Commissioner Felix Watakila said he has received several complaints from widows claiming to have been left out.
Wakati msala ameaga dunia, hiyo mali na paki yako na watoto wako. Na wako na jukumu kupeana hiyo mali kwa watoto wako. Lakini hapa hiyo mambo unafanya haifurahishi kabisa.
Watakila called for the protection of the rights of widows. The father said investigations are underway following claims of some chiefs colluding with relatives of widows to defraud widows and chase them from their matrimonial homes before selling off the land.
Iwapo jambo tokea, chifu ametambua uchane pantia kuharakisha kupata mali ya marehemu na bibi yako na watoto wako, huyo chief atafutwa kazi.
Watakila warned chiefs and their assistants who have been involved in such cases of corruption that will not only lose their jobs but will be arrested and face the full force of the law.
And now let's get down to business. The government is seeking to unlock more potential investments for domestic and international investors by exploring unprecedented opportunities. Investment, Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano says Kenya will foster cross-border collaboration during the upcoming Homa Bay International Investment Conference.
As Kenya continues making strides in mapping and positioning business opportunities to investors, counties have emerged as a new frontier, with government agencies charged with marketing investment keen to announce this. As a start, Homa Bay County plans to host a 3-day international investment conference next month.
We have put forth several value chains that we would like investments in, one being cotton. We want to be leaders in cotton production. We want to be leaders in the edible oils value chain. We are leaders in the fish value chain, and we welcome investments in that area. And we also want to develop our tourism and unveil the hidden gem that is Homa Bay.
The conference aims to unravel new investment frontiers, providing a platform for discourse on emerging markets and sustainable investment.
The Special Economic Zone and the County Aggregation and Industrial Park will provide opportunity for investors, especially investors for export, but also investors for domestic use.
Homa Bay County is also working closely with the national government in developing the County Aggregation and Industrial Park that will offer a ready market as well as business opportunities for investors.
The national government, through KPA and shipyards, is developing the Homa Bay, Kendu Bay, and Beta Piers, as well as the Lake Victoria Ferry, and this will greatly aid lake transportation and improve the movement of people and goods.
These counties are the ones that are going to be the drivers of the larger economic investments, and we are working as a council to support and facilitate and ensure that there is adequate engagement between potential investors through their respective government offices in the country, like you've seen.
Frederick Muki for Lunchtime News.
The government plans to create policies that will attract more retail multinationalists in the country as a way of creating jobs and market for locally made goods. The Principal Administrative Secretary and the Head of Coordination and Operation at the Office of the President, Kimutai Keitani, says a number of multinational stores have shown interest in opening outlets in Kenya.
This particular store has invested over 7 million USD, which translates to approximately 1 billion Kenya shillings, to set up the store. Up to 250 Kenyans have been employed or will be employed in the shortest time possible to assist in the operations of this business. Therefore, looking at those figures, one would acknowledge that this is the kind of business that we've desired, and many others of that nature, for this country. The government of Kenya has made it possible and created a very good investment climate for the investors to come from all over the world to join in building this country.
Delays in securing building approvals, electricity and water connection for new projects have been cited as some of the challenges slowing construction of housing units in the country. Developers say there is need to streamline the process of building plans and permits, address infrastructural challenges and construction costs to fast-track construction of houses in the country.
Developers, when they develop at the current market rates, they only develop for a given high-end client. You have a house which is 7 million, 8 million, 9 million. That cannot be afforded by somebody who is earning 10,000 shillings, 20,000 shillings, 30,000 shillings. So the houses that we are building, we are offering to Kenyans we have a one-bedroom house at about 5,000 shillings per month on a tenant purchase scheme. 2 bedrooms at 10,000 shillings per month on a tenant purchase scheme, rent to own. 3 bedrooms at 15,000 shillings per month. You know, I mean, it means the rent you are paying now will enable you to own a house forever. Even the person of the slum area who is currently paying 2,500 shillings per room, basically. So under social housing, that same person, we are offering them 2,500 shillings, but in a proper, dignified house with water, with electricity, with sanitation, and with security. You know, the same. So and that's why the president said we shall no longer be having a Kibra, will no longer be a slum, because we are moving all those people into decent.
Now, Kenya has been elected to chair the United Nations World Tourism Organization Committee on Tourism and Competitiveness, solidifying its position as a leader in the global tourism industry. Kenya won the position after 2 rounds of voting, warding off competition from Thailand and Malta. Details of this and other stories is in our corporate briefs.
Kenya takes over the chairmanship for 3 years and will hold the position between 2024 and 2027. Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Dr. Alfred Moto said, I quote, "This is a historic moment and an important win for Kenya as it puts us in a position of decision-making in matters that affect tourism across the globe." End of the quote. The UNWTO Committee on Tourism and Competitiveness acts as a platform for cooperation between member states to enhance the competitiveness of their offering, promote innovation, and ensure the sustainable growth of tourism worldwide. Other committees of the UNWTO where Kenya is mandated to represent Africa include the Program and Budget Committee up to 2025 and the Committee on Tourism and Sustainability where Kenya will be a representative until 2027. Meanwhile, artificial intelligence and generative AI offer enormous opportunities for the African continent in areas such as healthcare, education, financial inclusion, and agriculture. During a media workshop on the potential of AI in the Africa context, organized by Microsoft for journalists from across Africa, AI experts emphasized the importance of AI in transforming the 4 critical sectors for the benefit of the majority of the population. AI has already sparked significant interest and investment, with generative AI startups receiving $20 billion in funding over the last 3 years. Finally, Odmocho Limited has announced the sale of its full stake in UAP Insurance Tanzania in short-term insurance business to a group within its current minority shareholding, pending regulatory approval. This decision follows a thorough strategic review of the businesses relative to the immediate to long-term objective of the broader Odmocho Group. The group intends to partner with the local players in Tanzania to offer products and services in the medical insurance space, albeit through its Kenyan operations. Edna Murungi for Lunchtime News.
Some Kenyans are opposed to a plan to involve the private sector in construction of 100 dams under the Public-Private Partnership. During a public hearing of a draft Water Amendment Bill 2023 in Nairobi, participants expressed fears that in the scenarios where private interests override public interest, the cost of water could become expensive beyond the reach of a majority of Kenyans.
Most of the time, if not all the time, the private in the PPPs override public interest. And historically, the water sector has been seriously underfunded. So if we have a situation where the private interest override the public interest, then we are going to see a situation where you don't have access to water unless you can pay for it.
The private companies that will come into our country will only take advantage of our lack of management, of our inequitable society, and exploit us more. Water will become more expensive. It is time we as Kenyans get together, address the mess we have made ourselves, clean up our rivers, look after our water catchment areas, our forests, and equitably distribute water.
An activist like me who has read Constitution from Article 1 to all schedules will go to court and challenge the act, because an act of parliament which is unconstitutional can be challenged in a court of law.
And internationally, the port of Durban is facing capacity challenges as escalating tensions in the Red Sea that has prompted international shipping companies to take detours around Africa's southernmost tip. Attacks by the Iran-allied Houthi militia has vowed to prevent what it called Israeli-linked ships from passing through the Red Sea until the ongoing war on the Palestine enclave of the Gaza Strip ends. Here are the details of this and other stories making headlines across the globe.
As a result of surge in tensions, container ships have deterred around Cape of Good Hope at the southern tip of Africa and around South Africa's coastline, which would extend shipping period and lead to increased shipping costs. The number of ships calling at the port of Durban for refueling and supplies has surged as a result of the detour. The congestion has extended waiting periods for container ships to enter the port. Concerns are rising that the growing shipping costs will contribute to further increases in commodity prices. Meanwhile, Tesla experts start production of its next-generation electric vehicles as its Texas factory in the second half of next year. In this quarterly update to investors, Tesla said it has been discussing plans for a compact car that will be less expensive than its current Model Y, which will start around €45,000 in the UK. Tesla is forecasting a sharp sales down this year, becoming the latest car company to warn of sagging demand. The electric vehicle maker said the growth will be notably lower than 2023, when it delivers a rise of 30% to record a 1.8 million cars. Tesla is forecasting a sharp sales down this year, becoming the latest car company to warn of surging demand. The electric vehicle maker said growth will be notably lower than in 2023, when its deliveries rose to 38%, a record of 1.8 million cars. Finally, the aerospace industry faces widening disruptions from the blowout of a panel on an Alaska Airlines Boeing jet after U.S. regulators froze increases in production of the 737 maximum, raising concern over growth plans of airlines and suppliers worldwide. The ability to resume flying was a relief to U.S. maximum 9 operators, Alaska Airlines and United Airlines, which had been forced to cancel thousands of flights and aim to begin returning the planes on service on Friday and Sunday, respectively. Boeing is seeking to increase production of its best-selling single-aisle 737 MAX family to keep pace with demand and close on gap in the jet market with European plane maker Airbus. Boeing's latest 737 master schedule, which sets the production pace for suppliers, calls for production to rise to 42 jets per month in February, 4.72% in August, 52.5% by February 2025, and 57.7% in October 2025.
And now let's get sporty. The group stage of the CAF African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast concluded last night, setting up some highly anticipated knockout stage clashes. Morocco secured top spot in Group F and knocked Zambia out of the continental event with a 1-0 win in San Pedro. Now, meanwhile, the Democratic Republic of Congo reached the knockout stage after a goalless draw with Tanzania in Kohogo. The event takes a 2-day break and will resume this Saturday.
Tigers favourites to win the Africa Cup of Nations after beating a stubborn Zambia side 1-0 to advance to the last 16 as Group F winners. DR Congo reached the knockout stage of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations after a goalless draw with Tanzania in Kohogo. The results eliminated Tanzania, who had needed to win to progress themselves.
Aishi, Manula. Both of your strikers. Now then, can they work something here? Shalulile. Museo.
Namibia will take on Group D winners Angola in the first knockout round, while Mali will face Burkina Faso. A point was enough for South Africa to clinch the second place in Group E, as third place Namibia drew nil with group leaders Mali, a result which saw both sides progress. The knockout matches get underway this Saturday in Ivory Coast. Don't miss the live action on KBC Channel 1.
What tactics will be employed in this?
Faith Akinye for Lunchtime News.
Important to make sure that score.
Can't wait for those clashes, especially my team Morocco has progressed. Has your team in the AFCON progressed? That is the main question. Liverpool will play Chelsea in the Carabao final at Wembley Stadium on the 25th of February after seeing off Fulham in their two-legged semi-final. The second leg last night ended in a 1-1 draw, but Liverpool progressed, having won their first leg 2-1.
Here's Luis Diaz. That's beautiful from Luis Diaz, and it's squeezed in. Liverpool lead early. Got to the ball now. That's Wilson. That's beautiful. Away from Bradley and across the face of goal and in. Issa Diop touches the ball home, and Fulham have hope. We feel the possibilities are endless now. It's Wilson. That's a really good stop by Kelleher. Was bouncing at him.